The Richest Man in Babylon, a detailed chapter by chapter summary. The Richest Man in Babylon by George S. Clason uses stories set in ancient Babylon to teach principles of saving, investing, debt management, and building wealth. The book's central idea is simple. A person does not become wealthy merely by earning a lot of money. Wealth comes from keeping part of what you earn, making it grow, protecting it, and continuously increasing your abilities to earn. Chapter 1: The Man Who Desired Gold. The book begins with Bansir, a skilled chariot builder in Babylon. One day, Basin is sitting beside his unfinished chariot. He is physically exhausted, but something bothers him deeply. He has worked hard for many years, yet he has very little money. His friend Kobe, a musician, comes to visit him. Kobe is also struggling financially. They begin discussing their situation. Both men work hard, both earn money, both have skills, but neither has accumulated wealth. This leads them to ask a very important question. Why do some people become wealthy while others remain poor despite working just as hard? They realize that merely working hard isn't necessarily the answer. They need to learn the principle of wealth. They decided to visit their neighborhood friend, Akkad, who has become the richest man in Babylon. The important lesson. Basin's problem isn't simply that he does not earn enough. His deeper problem is that he has never developed a system of managing his money. This is one of the most concepts of the entire book. You can earn 50,000, 100,000, 300,000, 1 million, but still remain financially insecure if all of it disappears through expense. Modern application. Imagine someone earning 300,000 per month and he spends 300,000 every month. They are not wealthy than someone earning 100,000 and spending 100,000. The first step towards wealth isn't necessarily earning more. It's learning to keep some of what you earn. Chapter 2: The Richest Man in Babylon. Basin and Kobe go to ask Akkad. Akkad is not born rich. He was not the son of a wealthy family. He began as an ordinary man. Yet he eventually became the richest man in Babylon. His friend asked him, "How did you become wealthy?" Akkad explained that he once worked as a humble writer of inscription of clay tablets. One day, a wealthy man named Algamish came to him and asked him to complete some work. Akkad worked hard, but was fascinated by Algamish's wealth. He asked Algamish, "How did you become wealthy?" Algamish told him a fundamental principle. A part of everything you earn belongs to you. Akkad initially found this confusing. If he earns money, did all of it belongs to him? Algamish explained that money spent on other people, food, clothing, entertainment, and other expense wasn't really building his wealth. The money that truly belongs to Akkad was the money he kept. Akkad began saving. Algamish instructed him to save 1/10 of everything he earned. Akkad followed the advice. However, he initially made a mistake. He saved money but did not know how to invest it. He gave his money to a man who claimed to understand investing. The investment failed. Akkad lost his money. He returned to Algamish, disappointed. Instead of telling him to give up, Algamish explained that Akkad had learned an important lesson. You must learn how to invest before you entrust your money to someone else. Akkad eventually learned to make his money work for him. Chapter 3. The 7 cures of linen purse. This is probably the most important chapter of the book. The king of Babylon became concerned that many citizens are poor despite living in a wealthy city. He asked Akkad to teach the people how to become financially successful. Akkad presented a 7 cure for a linen purse. Cure number 1. Start shy purse to fatten. This is the most famous. Pay yourself first. Akkad says that you should keep at least 10% of everything you earn. For example, if your income is 200,000, immediately save 20,000. Then live in the remaining 180,000. The mistake many people make is income minus expense is equal to saving. The book teaches income minus saving is equal to money available for expense. This is a huge psychological difference. Why this works? If you wait until the end of the month to save whatever remains, then it's often nothing left. But if you save fast, you force yourself to live within the remaining amount. Cure number 2. Control thy expenditure. Saving money is not enough. You must also control spending. Akkad explained that humans naturally develop more desires as their income increases. For example, someone earning 100,000 may want better clothes, better phone, better car, better house, more entertainment. Then their salary increases to 200,000. Instead of becoming wealthy, they simply upgrade everything then. 300,000, they upgrade again. Eventually, income increases, but wealth doesn't. The book calls this uncontrolled desire unnecessary expenditure. The important distinction, you need to separate needs from wants. Not every desire deserves to be funded. Modern example. Suppose your income increased by 50,000 and you spent the entire increase, or you could do something like 20,000 investment, 10,000 emergency fund, 10,000 family or lifestyle, then 10,000 personal enjoyment. That is your lifestyle improvement without consuming the entire increase. Cure number 3. Make thy gold multiply. Saving alone will not make you wealthy enough. The saving you need to generate additional money. This is the principle of compounding growth. Suppose you save 10,000 every month. Eventually you accumulate capital. Instead of leaving the money idle, you invest it. The investment becomes return. Then returns are reinvested. Eventually, your money begins making money. That is what the book means by making the gold multiply. Modern example, depending on the risk and sustainability, this principle could involve money market, government securities, treasury bills, treasury bonds, pension investment, shares, property, business, and other productive investment. The principle is not a particular investment. The principle is your accumulated capital should eventually become an additional source of income. Cure number 4. Guard thy treasure from losses. This chapter addresses one of the biggest dangers to wealth: losing the money that you have accumulated. People who desperately want to become rich often become vulnerable to get rich quick schemes, unregulated investment, fraud, poor business, bad relationship, excessive speculation, investment they don't even understand. This book teaches that protecting capital is more important than chasing extraordinary returns. Example: investment A, a potential risk of 8%, risk of major loss relatively low. Investment B, a potential return of 50%, risk of losing most of the capital is very high. The book will encourage you ask, is the extra return worth the additional risk? Cure number 5. Make thy dwelling profitable investment. The book encourages people to think carefully about housing. A home can provide security, stability, reduced long-term housing expense, potential application, and potential rental income. But the broader principle is your largest expense should ideally contribute to your financial stability. For example, buying a property that eventually generates rental income can potentially turn as an expense into an asset. However, this does not mean everyone must buy a house immediately. The underlying principle is to make intelligent decision about housing rather than allowing housing costs to consume your ability to build wealth. Cure number 6. Make sure of future income. One day you'll stop working. Therefore, you should not build a financial life that depends entirely on your monthly salary. The book encourages people to prepare for retirement, old age, family responsibility, unexpected circumstances, and loss of earnings abilities. This means building assets that can eventually produce income. Think of this way: when you're young, you work for money. As you build wealth, your money starts working for you. Eventually, your investment should be capable of supporting you, part of your lifestyle. Cure number 7: increase the abilities to earn. This is often overlooked. Aka teaches that your earnings ability in itself is an asset. You should eventually improve knowledge, skills, professional qualification, communication, leadership, technical expertise, and business skills. Why? Because increasing your income gives you more money to save and invest. For example, a person A earns 100,000, saves 10%. They invest 10,000. Person B develop valuable skills and eventually earn 300,000. Saves 20%, gives them. This will give them about 60,000 per month available for investment. Therefore, increasing income can dramatically accelerate wealth creation. Chapter 4. Meet the goddess of good luck. This chapter discusses the concept of luck. People often believe wealthy people simply got lucky. The book challenges this idea. Sometimes opportunities appear unexpectedly, But the opportunities are useless if you don't recognize or act on them. For example, a person may receive an opportunity to invest in a legitimate business. They hesitate, someone else acts. Someone else act, the second person eventually benefits. The first person says he was lucky, but the book asks us to look deeper. Lesson from this chapter. Opportunities favors people who are prepared. You don't control when opportunities appear, but you can control whether you are financially prepared, knowledgeable, disciplined, and willing to act. Chapter 5. The 5 laws of gold. This is one of the extremely important sessions. ACAD teaches 5 principles. The five laws. Law number 1. Money comes easily to the person who consistently save at least part of their income. If you never save, you'll never build capital. Law number 2. Money works for the person who invests it wisely. Your money should eventually produce more money. Money stays with the person who seeks advice from the person experienced in handling money. Do not automatically take it from friends, relatives, social media influencers, people who simply sounds confident. Instead, seek advice from people with genuine knowledge and experience. Law number 4. Money is lost when you invest in things you don't understand. If you don't understand how an investment makes money, be careful. Law number 5. Money disappears when you chase unrealistic return or follow the advice of inexperienced people. This is particularly relevant today. Whenever someone says, guarantee 30% every month or double your money in 60 days. Or double your money in 60 days. The appropriate response is understanding the risk before investing. Chapter 6. The Gold Lender of Babylon. This chapter follows Radan, a successful craftsman. Radan receives a large amount of money. Instead of immediately spending it, he seeks advice from Mathon, an experienced money lender. Mathon explained how he determines whether someone is trustworthy enough to receive loan. He looks at their character, their experience, their ability to repay, their business, their collateral, and their history. The lesson: when lending money or investing in someone's business, do not simply focus on the provided return. Ask, what happens if things go wrong? This is essentially the principle of managing risk. Chapter 7. The Walls of Babylon. Babylon was famous for its enormous defense wall. The citizens believed that the wall protected them from external threats. The book uses this as a financial metaphor. Your financial life also needs wall. Your wall could include emergency fund that is protecting you against unexpected expense, insurance that is protecting you from any catastrophic financial losses, diversification protecting you from putting everything in one investment, then stable income protecting you from financial instability, low debt protecting you from protect your future income. Then lesson: build wealth without protecting it's dangerous. Chapter 8: The Camel Lender of Babylon. This is the story of Debasir. Debasir became trapped in debt. Instead of dealing with his problem, he ran away. Eventually, circumstance forces him to confront his situation. He decided, I will pay my debt. He developed a plan. He divided his income between living expense, debt repayment, and saving. He stops allowing his debt to control his life. Important lesson: debt become particularly dangerous when you have no plan. The answer isn't simple, I need more money. The answer is, I need a structural financial plan. Chapter 9: The Clay Tablet of Babylon. This continues Debasir's story. The famous debt management system can be simplified into, for example, the 100 units of income: 10% living expense, debt management 10%, then saving 10%. Debt management is 20%. This is powerful because it gives every unit of money a purpose. Suppose you earn 250. A similar structure will be 170 living expense, then 50,000 debt management, 25% investment stroke saving. The exact percentage don't have to be ideally for everyone. The principle is, do not let your money disappear without a plan. Chapter 10: The Luckiest Man in Babylon. This story focuses on Sharu Nada. He started his life in difficult circumstances. Eventually became successful through hard work, learning, discipline, building relationship, taking responsibility, developing skills, and taking opportunity. The story demonstrates that wealth is not always about where you start. Lesson: you don't have to start wealthy, but you must develop the habit that creates wealth. The 7 principles in one system. If we combine everything in this book, we get a powerful financial system. Step 1: pay yourself first. Save 10% or more. Step number 2: control expense. Do not allow lifestyle inflation to consume your income. Step 3: build an emergency reserve. Create your financial protection. Step number 4: eliminate expense debt. Do not allow interest to become your future income. Step 6: invest. Make your saving produce additional income. Chapter 6: protect your investment. Do not take risk you do not understand. Step 7: increase your income. Improve your skills, learning, and earning abilities. Step 8: reinvest. Allow your investment return to generate additional return. Step 9: repeat. This is where compounding becomes extremely powerful. The deeper message of this book: the book is not really about Babylon. It is your financial behavior. It argues that wealth is largely built through habits. Someone can earn a lot and remain poor because they spend everything, borrow excessively, make poor investment, increase lifestyle too quickly, do not plan for the future. Someone with a modest income can gradually become financially secure by 1. investing consistently. Investing consistently. Controlling expense. avoiding unnecessary debts, increasing income, and protecting assets, and lastly, giving investment time to compound. The most important rule, if you had to reduce the entire book to one rule, it will be part of your everything you must earn. Part of everything you earn is yours to keep. That is all about this book, The Richest Man in Babylon. Thank you.